Living life to the fullest. Living life to the fullest. Living life to the fullest. I done it all. Sipping tea, I'm gonna spill it. I'm gonna tell it all. All the haters can get mad. I don't care at all. If you like my channel, write it on the wall. Please subscribe, hit the bell for my notifications. My cash app in the bio if you wanna pay me. Climb my way to the top. YouTube sensation, Facebook sensation, IG sensation. Like my channel, Queen D Black, Queen D Black, Queen D Black. Subscribe to my channel, Queen D Black, Queen D Black, Queen D Black.
Hey, how's everybody doing this evening? I want to first start off by thanking my supporters. I am so amazed at how people are responding to my videos. They're wanting more and more, and I do appreciate it, and I appreciate all of the love, and I just don't know where I would be without my supporters as far as my channel is going. I do want you guys to also on Facebook like my video. It's going to be posted also on YouTube. I want you to like the YouTube video. Go to my YouTube channel, which is Queen D Black, which is in the header. I want you to hit the like button, subscribe. It's all free. I'm trying to grow the YouTube channel. So with all that being said, we're getting ready to get down to the nitty-gritty as to what you all came here for.
All right, so we left off on part 2.
Yes.
And your boyfriend, he took you on a wild goose chase. So you ended up finding out he's in prison.
Yes.
And how did you find that out?
Okay, all right. Let me just back up something too that I didn't mention the first time, because all of these videos and these occurrences happened over 30 years ago. So I just wanted to remember I told y'all that I was a BMW lady, and him and I locked eyes because he had a BMW. When I was going up North Main Street and he was going down North Main Street, he had a BMW, so that's what caught my attention. And my first boyfriend also had a BMW, so that's 2 guys with the BMWs, okay? So with that being said, I actually was working at the bank. And I left the bank. I was actually terminated from the bank, but we'll get into that with my next money-making boyfriend, okay? So I decided to become a correctional officer. So during that time, it was a little space in between. I heard back from my boyfriend, the scammer. And so him and I talked, and you know, I was thinking the whole time that he was out of jail because he was so-called calling me from New York. And remember I told y'all he could not leave the state of New York because he was on a probationary status. So in the meantime, I had applied to become a correctional officer. So I had told him that I applied to become a correctional officer, and he was like, okay, well, that's a good thing. You know, he was very supportive with it. So let me tell you how God works in mysterious ways. I ended up getting the job, and guess what? I found out it was going to be at CCI, which was the old prison that was right there. My older crowd knows where CCI was. It was actually down there off of Huger Street. So I had told my boyfriend that I, got the job, and he was like, what, you got the job? He was like, well, which institution are you working at? I said, CCI, and he was like, oh, D, it's something that I need to tell you. I was like, what you got to tell me? He was like, I don't know how to tell you this, but I actually am in jail right now. I said, what you mean you in jail right now? I thought you had got out of jail and you was on a probationary status thing. And he said, yeah, I actually got into some more trouble, and they locked me up into SCDC. They transferred me down to South Carolina. I'm like, well, why you didn't tell me that? And he was like, and I'm at CCI. I was like, what? Oh my God, y'all. I ain't never in my years on the earth had somebody to be a liar like that before, and he played it real good with me.
He definitely played it real good. So, okay, you're finding out that he's at CCI. So are you feeling like, well, I can't work this job, or were you eager to work the job?
I needed a job. I wasn't going to let him stop me because at that time I was pissed off with him. I broke it off. I was like, I'm not going to jeopardize my job for somebody that was a liar and a cheater and just, no good. He meant no good to me. So I broke everything off with him and I went ahead with my job at CCI.
Okay, well, did you see him at all, like working, like your first day? How did that go?
Girl, I wanted so much not to see him, but I could not help it. He actually was upstairs. In CCI, they had like a tunnel and they had an upstairs. It was a very old prison. He was upstairs, so he would walk downstairs to where I would be and just walk past. I wouldn't say nothing to him because, like I said, there was nothing else going on with us. And I could not help people that I have known before they went to prison. That just wasn't a fault of mine. So he would walk past, every day that I would work. And I would just look at him and he would look at me, but he would make it known, that, okay, I'm here in the prison.
Okay. Were you worried at all that he was going to tell y'all business and then it get around the whole prison?
No, because he wasn't like that I knew of. He was the quiet type of person. He was a very cool guy. Like, he stayed to himself and he was a very laid back person. So I knew he wouldn't tell nobody. Even if he did, this was something in the past. We wasn't together while I was a correctional officer, no.
Did y'all have any conversations in there?
I would speak because I had to go, I didn't stay always on the same little dorm thing that they had me on. They would switch me around. So of course I had to work the area that he was in and I had to treat him like I treated all the rest of the inmates. You get in, you get out, I turn the key, you go to dinner, lunch or whatever and get back in your cell. And that was that. I wasn't rude to him, but I treated him like the others. He didn't get no special privileges.
Right. Okay. All right. So how long was he in there for?
Okay, I actually was there for approximately 10 months. And the whole 10 months that I was there, he was in there. And this would lead into another situation with another boyfriend of mine when I was a correctional officer. So, I don't know how you want to go into that, but that was going to be on my next video. So, but as far as this guy here, what happened was before I left CCI, years had passed. I'm talking about I had gotten married, had kids. So I ended up looking on Facebook because I always wondered whatever happened to him because like I told you, I had no communication with him after I left and while I was a correctional officer. So lo and behold, Facebook came into existence. So I want to say probably, what this is, 2023, I want to say sometime probably in 2017, 18, something like that, I researched Facebook just to put in his name because like I told y'all, I found out his last name. And the first name he gave me was right. So I got the whole first name, last name, middle name, all that because I was a correction officer. So I ended up searching Facebook, found a name that matched his name. So I went to the profile and I was like looking at the photos and I was like, okay, that looked like him. That's him. That's him right there. This is him. So I inboxed him, like I said, 25 years, 30 years had passed. So I wanted to know how he was doing. So the person that answered me back was not him, it was his son. They have the same name. So I was telling the son that I knew his father, and the son was like, well, he was a little leery about giving me information because I wanted to know how he was doing. So he wanted me to describe some things about his dad, in which I did. And he was like, okay, well, yeah, you know him, you knew him. So he told me that, his dad actually had passed away from a car accident in 2006. And I was like, what? Yeah, he was in a car accident. I think the son told me, maybe I was researching this stuff. I think the son told me that he was going to visit a friend of his that was in the jail, and it was snowing that day, and he ended up running into the back of a bus, a city bus, in the car, and he died on the scene. And I was like, oh my God, that was just so awful just to hear that. It kind of broke my heart a little bit because I didn't know, you know, where he was or what he was doing. I thought he was alive. Yeah, so it was awful just hearing that. But
that's very awful. You know, life is short.
yeah, it is.
Really short. And the last time y'all communicated was when he was in prison.
Yeah, when he was in prison. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna close this video out, and I want you guys to stay tuned for the next episode.
Let me add this. The next episode is gonna be about another money maker. This money maker here was a liar and a cheater. Okay?
And got you fired.
Got me fired from my bank job, and he made me lose my job as a correctional officer. Yes.
Wow.
So you want to stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
All right.